No, the whole floor smells like burnt popcorn, and nobody will admit they did it, which means somebody's lying, which means there's a... Oh, we're on.
There's a phone in Kyiv that used to ring straight through to the one American who'd pick up. Friday night, it stopped ringing. We'll tell you why one 71-year-old man's chest was holding up an entire war.
Then, there's a cloud of dust way out near the center of the galaxy, and a telescope just found something floating in it that smells exactly like your childhood. You are going to want it, and you cannot have it.
And a giant of a man. Lost the whole tournament, signed every kid's shirt till 9:30 at night, and then his country scrambled fighter jets to walk him home.
I'm Sloan. That's Kiki. Aubrey Jo's out in the garage. Blaze is at the weather desk. Monday the 13th. This is Broadcast 404 Live. Roll it.
Okay, strong language, adult stuff, satire, all of it. Heads up, we open heavy tonight, a real one. So if you need a second before the sad part, take it. I'll hold the door. Then it gets stupid, I promise. Watch at your own risk. I love you. Let's go.
Okay. Plainly, Senator Lindsey Graham died Friday night. The cause has not been officially confirmed that airtime. Not a conspiracy. Not foul play. A man's heart giving out.
And whatever you thought of him, sweetie, and I know how a lot of you felt about that man, that's a scary way to go. Sudden. Nobody got to say anything back.
Here's the part that turns it into a foreign policy story overnight. Ukraine is genuinely afraid right now because Graham was their guy. The one Republican who'd fly to Kyiv, stand next to Zelensky, then fly home and be the single voice Trump would actually listen to on the war. Their whole line to this administration ran through one 71-year-old man's chest. A country fighting for its life had exactly one working phone line to American power, and it was a person. Not a treaty, not an alliance, not an institution. A guy. And on a Friday night, the guy's heart failed, and the line went dead. And the scandal isn't relief, and it isn't grief. It's the cold thing underneath both. We built a world where a war that's killed tens of thousands can get quieter or louder depending on whether one American senator picks up. He was a real man with a real family, and he was also load-bearing for a country he didn't live in. Both of those are true tonight, and only one of them gets a funeral. A whole nation's line to power was one man's aorta. I'm still thinking about that. Aubrey Jo's in the garage. Please, for the love of God, come in here and be an idiot.
Yeah, I heard the whole thing. Just give me a sec. I gotta shake the sad off my dick and I'll get loud for you.
Take the second. Then get loud. There she is. The garage light's on. Go be a person who yells about games.
Okay, I got you. Give me 30 seconds of stupid, that's... Yeah, here we go.
Take it.
All right, Wimbledon. Sitter beats Zverev in the final. That's it, that's the whole sentence, and it still feels heavy tonight. I don't know why. Okay, I do know why, but I'm not doing that. Moving! Don't quote me on this one, it's all bouncing around online, but Norway went out to England, and Holland, this beautiful giant of a man, stayed till 9:30 at night taking photos with fans. Last Norwegian to leave the stadium, lost, and still signed every kid's shirt in the building. That's a goddamn adult. And then his own Air Force, actual F-35 fighter jets, escorted the team plane home. You lose the tournament, and your country scrambles the fucking military to hug you. I have never once been loved like that, and I'm a little pissed about it. Hold on. Subreddit. Conor McGregor, first fight in 5 years, tickets $15,000 a seat, and he blew out his own leg at 1 minute 5 seconds. 65 seconds, $15,000. That's $230 a second to watch a man's knee quit. Maybe good for him. Anyway.
Local.
Denby Assembly of God overflow lot, freshly striped. Inaugural shopping cart downhill. You ride a stolen cart down the church's back grade, no brakes, first one past the dumpster wins. Margaret was in it. And Derek, still limping from the turkey thing, walking like his hips are made of gravel, shows up with a cart he welded a rudder onto. Actual boat rudder, steering. The man engineered fucking handling into a Kroger cart. And then, before a single cart moved, Margaret stood up at the top of the grade, brushed the gravel off her hands, and told the co-op clerk she's done. Retiring. Right there. No race, no final run. She walks away undefeated, streak frozen at 34 forever. Derek built a rudder for a woman who quit the sport before the goddamn whistle. He's steering toward a rivalry that never happened. God help his dumb ass.
She quit at the top, undefeated, in a church overflow lot. That's the best exit strategy this county's produced since the plant closed and everybody just stopped showing up.
Oh, but Derek welded, sweetie. A man does not weld a rudder for someone he's over. That's love. Wrong, tragic, cart-based love, and I want to leave him a casserole he can eat while he stares at it.
Kiki, she doesn't know his name. She retired, and the last thing she'll ever remember about him is nothing, because there is nothing. He's a stranger with a boat cart and a limp. I'm driving out there Saturday with a cooler and a lawn chair to watch him practice steering at a dead sport. Don't ask, don't come.
Okay, this is the one that put me in a genuinely good mood today. Astronomers pointed a telescope at a big cloud of dust and gas near the center of our galaxy, and they found actual sugar molecules floating in it. And one of them, the way it's built, is the exact compound that makes raspberries smell like raspberries.
So somewhere out past every problem we have, there's a cloud that smells faintly like a Jolly Rancher, and nobody can go there. That's the news.
Space smells like a goddamn candy owl, and I'm stuck breathing the garage? That's bullshit! Send me!
It gets better, sweetie. Think about what that means for the next one out there. Someday, somebody's going to point a telescope at a cloud just like this one and find something that isn't just an ingredient. It's dinner. I want to be alive when they do. I want to hear the word life said out loud and mean it.
A raspberry cloud will never reach. Over a night sky, somebody's about to bolt a mirror onto. Blaze, you've got a scented galaxy upstairs. Go find us something down here.
Hey, look at the map. Valentine, Nebraska, 66-mile-an-hour winds, and a totally clear sky. That's near damage territory. The wind ripping a lawn chair across the yard, and there's nothing up there to throw it. I pulled the records. Last time the Sandhills gusted like this on a cloudless day was a July afternoon in 1949, and the guy who logged it wrote, "Cause unknown," and just left. Went home. 77 years later, I've got the same reading, and his same 2 words, like he mailed them forward to me. Meanwhile, Atlanta's drowning in fog, Phoenix is pushing 99, and Holstead, the drained fountain downtown, is still bone dry, and nobody at the city will say when they plan to fill it back up. Okay, before the theory. I owe you Monday. I went to the county counter. I asked who signed that archive tape out. The clerk pulled the form, the custody field, the dash. A real person sat down and wrote that dash on March 11th, before the tape was ever reported missing. And since you're here, the Pentagon just declassified another batch of UFO files, and a military aviator, on the record, describes an object unlike anything I had seen. Not a weather balloon, not a drone. He watched it, and the government wrote it down, and then filed it under a nice, quiet number. Same wrist that writes a dash instead of a name. A hand, deciding what the record gets to keep. Forecast. A wind that skipped the storm. A cold day gust nobody's explained since '49. And one dash written 3 weeks early. Subscribe. The sub count's the one number they can't quietly draw a line through. Back to you.
March 11th. You okay? You went and got the answer, and it turned out to be worse than the question.
I'm fine. I wanted a name. I got a date that shouldn't exist. I don't know which one keeps me up more.
A date that shouldn't exist means somebody sat down with a pen and a calendar, sweetie, and you'll find them. You always do. Come sit. The dash isn't going anywhere.
Candle blowers! Birthday's this week, and I'm dedicating tonight to anybody who ever built the perfect thing and had the universe take a shit on it anyway. You know who you are. First up, Conor McGregor, July 14th. I just watched this man's knee retire in 65 seconds. Happy birthday, King. Blow the candles out with your good leg. Also the 14th, Harrison Butker, NFL kicker. Now, I have opinions about that man's speeches I will keep in my chest tonight, but I will say this. He is a professional whose entire job is kicking a ball through 2 poles, and he is somehow less controversial for that than for opening his mouth. Respect the leg, mute the rest. Callie Uchis, July 17th, Grammy winner, gorgeous voice, hot as hell. I would let that woman ruin my entire week and thank her for it. That's my whole review. Next. And Ian Armitage, July 15th. Young Sheldon. This kid is 17 now. 17! I still see a tiny bow tie nerd correcting a science teacher, and now he can drive? No, absolutely not. Time is undefeated, and it's coming for all of us. Blow your candles out, you little time criminal. Billy Lord, the 17th. Scream Queen, Star Wars, Carrie Fisher's daughter. Genuinely one of the funniest people working, and I will not make a joke about her because she'd make a better one about me. Happy birthday. That's the list. Go eat some cake and don't build anything perfect this week. The universe is clearly in a mood. That's candle blowers.
Mailbag, and it's a real letter tonight from the Vachel Grange Feed Co-op. Second week in a row we've heard from them. They want the public to know the molasses pond out back is now under camera surveillance, and trespassers will be documented.
Documented? They put a camera on the molasses? I'm going Saturday, Kiki. I will wave at their little camera. I hope I'm on the tape.
They installed surveillance on a pond of animal feed. Somewhere, a co-op clerk decided the molasses had enemies.
A camera pointed at a thing nobody's supposed to take. That's the second custody record I've heard about today, and I'm choosing not to think about that too hard.
Blaze, honey, it's molasses. Anyway, you at home, subscribe and leave me a comment. I read every single one. The station keeps telling me we need the numbers, and I keep a little list of the kind ones. I'd love it if you were on it.
If I get documented at that molasses pond, I want it framed, full color, on this desk.
You want a mugshot from a feed co-op, mounted on network property.
Now you're getting it.
Sweethearts, if a stranger you never met dies before you got to say the thing, say it to somebody who's still here tonight. Do it now. I'll wait up. I always know who did.
There's a second dash on a form in that county office, older than the first. Tomorrow I go back and ask the clerk which one she wrote first. Night.
And me? I'm bringing a lawn chair, a cooler, and my whole heart to a molasses pond Saturday to get documented on purpose. If I'm on that tape, I want it in HD. Night, you gorgeous idiots.
A whole country's line to power was one man's cell phone, and it stopped working on a Friday. Call the people you'd miss. I'm going to go do that. Good night.
I made 2 casseroles this morning. One for the desk. I don't know who the second one's for yet. I like having it ready. Somebody always needs one. They just don't know it yet.